This is Jack Diesel.
This is Tito Santana, and you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast. Arriba!
Episode 3. This is more episodes to a podcast than I ever thought I would ever have. Well, welcome to the Sports Entertainment Shrinks podcast, episode 3. I am your host with not that much actually. Dan for this episode. I might change my name by the next one. With me today, from this country, is the world's smartest fan, Smark Henry. Welcome.
Thanks.
And over on the other side of the water, with the accent and the time difference, the esteemed colleague, Tim Lee.
What's going on, people? It's your favourite temporary American representative here, Tim fucking Lee, for another episode of Sports Entertainment Shrinks. Here we are.
Yeah, are you? Why are you still temporary? Can you just be official? Like you're everybody's favorite representative.
I have not passed the American citizenship test, my friend. I'm a temporary American representative. I have a visa for 2 years, so
but we've been friends ever since you called yourself the temporary one, and
You're only friends with me for my moniker, you evil bastard.
No, I've been friends with you since you've had that moniker.
I know, but now I have to wait until my permanent residency comes through, and I will be Hulk Hogan's replacement, albeit less racist.
Who?
Hulk Hogan.
I don't know who that is.
Terry
You mean the guy from TNA?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't watch much TNA. So.
You're a liar. You're a liar, Dan.
Neither do I, but we have that to discuss tonight. That's the main thing.
We're gonna do some TNA fun, but in the news, unfortunately, some sad news. Bryan Danielson, aka Daniel Bryan,
best wrestler in the world.
The goat, tweets. Oh, I've lost the Twitter. What did he say?
I've lost the Twitter. Daniel Bryan tweets. I left some of my broccoli go to flour and the nope, that's not the one. How about vegan, freaking vegan.
The bees love it though. I do want to plug the bees. That was because I wanted to plug the bees on this one. Save the bees, everybody. Due to medical reasons, effective immediately, I am announcing my retirement tonight, which was Monday, on Raw, and I'll have a chance to elaborate. #gratitude. #gratitude indeed. So, did you cry, gentlemen? Did you cry?
Yep.
Yeah,
I didn't cry. A tear came to my eye.
Yeah, I got a little misty-eyed.
No, I cried. I cried like a bitch. I've been following Bryan Danielson since 2002. So being able to watch him on his indie career and then going on to WWE was awesome. And the fact that he WrestleMania 20, he who shall not be named, but we'll name him Chris Benoit. Had that awesome match where he won the world's title, and I was like, oh man, no one ever expected Benoit to get this far in WWE, and that's like the same way I think about Danielson, which like his WrestleMania 30 moment was just it was the bee's knees.
It's the bee's knees. Oh, plugging the bees, save the bees.
Well on worth it, definitely.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite moments in wrestling.
In life.
Yeah, in life.
It's one of my favorite things I've witnessed when it actually happened.
Yeah.
Like via live stream, definitely. Yeah. I was sad. I'll admit, I was very sad when I heard it because I thought, first thing into my mind was, it's a ruse. This is going to be like the switcheroo. It's sad though because you look at it now and it's just like we're not going to get to see certain matches and we're not going to get to see him go back to, what he potentially could have done even more because it seems like the moment he actually was able to do something, it just got taken from him, and it is unfortunate. But at least he can say that he's been WWE champion, and he can say he's done all this, and he made
WrestleMania moment.
Exactly, he's had the landmark moment, albeit it's short term. The moment is there, and
Yeah.
All I'll say now is leave the damn memories alone.
He won every title he could have won in WWE in 5 years.
Yep.
But has Brie Bella been a Divas champion?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then they're a fucking power couple, man.
Yeah, that's
Jesus
the best. That's the best
Christ.
tandem in the history of wrestling, right there.
As long as I never have to see fucking
Brie Bella.
wrestle again.
Brie Bella, aka Flat Bella,
Flat Bella.
which is fine because I love when they. I
I
always
dig
laugh.
chits
I
with
always
no
laugh-
tits.
I always laugh when they did the twin magic later in their careers because before Nikki got her enhancement, they actually
Orientation.
they could do twin magic
Oh,
without
and Nikki got
pulling
fat.
something out of her shirt. But now she does that all the time.
Yeah, that was. I liked when they did
There's
that
loads
too.
of pictures of Nikki Bella right now just lifting weights with a neck brace on. I don't know whether to laugh or just like be really sympathetic. Actually, you know what? I've just seen something. I'm going to be sympathetic. She's a fucking Philadelphia Eagles fan. Bitch!
We're all very sympathetic for any Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Boom!
So, what is your favorite? I didn't watch Bryan Danielson, so for me, I'll share my Daniel Bryan moment. What is your favorite Bryan Danielson, and then I guess what's your favorite Daniel Bryan moment in the career of D. Bry D.
Daniel Bryan moment would have been him winning the title at Mania.
That's a
It was
cop-out answer.
It was literally just the combination of all that work. Like, he made it to the mountaintop.
Yeah.
Made it far. Bryan Danielson moment? I'd either say him versus... Oh, God. Nigel McGuinness, the series they had, which was just
I've seen
awesome.
that, so, yeah.
Although that did probably shorten his career. It was amazing.
I think it might have shortened Nigel's career more than Danielson's.
Yeah,
career.
but still, it was definitely both career
Oh,
shorteners,
totally,
especially with the whole like concussion thing that Daniel Bryan was saying during the his speech.
Yep.
Him and Takeshi Morishima was awesome. Another little gem was him versus what was Jamie Noble's name of the Indies? Was it literally
James Gibson.
James Gibson? Him versus James Gibson was amazing.
When he won the ROH world title.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
That's
came
phenomenal.
back all clean shaven and like with a track jacket and hair.
Yeah. I don't like Daniel Bryan with hair. That's what I'll admit. Him with long hair and a beard, he looks really weird. The fact that he got it cut and everything was awesome.
That was your favorite Daniel Bryan moment.
My favourite Daniel Bryan moment was him getting his haircut. 16 years of an illustrious career and a haircut is my favourite moment. Imagine
Easy
that.
to please. Easy to please.
I'm simple.
Yeah.
Another quick one. Tara, aka WWE's Victoria, is listening to I Am Slick Rick radio on Pandora. Just a quick update.
Good.
Listen, the only thing I want to hear about her is that she's not going to close down her restaurant. But I'm pretty sure it's already closing down.
She should, because she wears double denim. And that's a sin. That's a sin in itself.
She just wears a Canadian tuxedo. Let's be honest.
What?
Smark, what is your Daniel Bryan, your Bryan Danielson moments?
Alrighty. I think I'm gonna label these differently because I've seen Daniel Bryan a numerous amount of times, and I've seen Bryan Danielson, same person, whatever, but I've seen them in different aspects of his career. One of my favorite Bryan Danielson moments that I was present for was in Orlando, Florida, and it was the original Hug It Out session between him and El Generico. One of the funniest moments. Another one would be I went to King of Trios in Chikara in 2009, and it was team uppercut of Claudio Castagnoli, American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, and Squire Dave Taylor. Wow. And it was quite a sight to see, just seeing Bryan Danielson as himself, just wrestling. And then Daniel Bryan, I was in Miami at the Monday Night Raw where the Nexus came out, and he choked the shit out of Justin Roberts.
Always good. He did that there.
Fucking hilarious. And then I saw him the next day at an FCW house show where They were doing meet and greets and stuff, and the main event was supposed to be Christian and his rookie Heath Slater versus The Miz and his rookie Daniel Bryan. But since the Nexus nonsense happened, they made Miz a face for the night, and they did Miz and Christian versus Slater and Danielson. And I was also there for probably the worst Bryan Danielson moment, or Daniel Bryan moment, where I was at WrestleMania 28 and he lost to Sheamus, and I wanted to kill myself.
I lost a lot of money on that match.
I was furious.
I made a stupid drunken bet, and I was like, this is going to be a classic. I saw Daniel Bryan's entrance, and I was like, oh, here we go.
The most over man in the entire fucking WrestleMania. He got a better reaction than The Rock originally.
Yeah, but
I'll
then
tell you that right now.
I literally saw when he lost. I was like, I didn't know what to do. I had to walk outside, and, like, calm down for a bit, because I was like, I've just lost a shit ton of money on this match. I was expecting a classic, and it was 18 seconds. I was like,
but a month later at Extreme Rules, that match was fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely surpassed.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It made me forget.
Give me that at
till you reminded me
WrestleMania.
again.
Give me the 18 seconds at Extreme Rules.
Ugh. But yeah, I think that would be my my moments. Like, they were all pretty much based on me being there live. But to go back to what Tim said, the final battle match between Morishima and Danielson, where during his intro, during his music, his entrance, he did the dive into the crowd, and he got knocked silly. But then right as it says the final countdown, he sets the chair up on the rail, steps up, and the entire crowd is still with him, just goes, "It's the final countdown." One of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Good man.
Bryan Danielson. Because I guess the thing with McGinnis, because that's like one of the only things I'd seen. Like that's how I knew who he was when he showed up.
Yeah.
I guess my favorite Daniel Bryan moment is probably when he that Raw that he referenced during his farewell, where the whole crowd got behind him.
Yeah, it was in the same building.
Yeah, it was in the same building. And I think that's one of my favorite wrestling promos because he's there and he's getting, everybody's cheering the shit out of him. And meanwhile, during that promo, CM Punk is there laughing at the fact that they're cheering Daniel Bryan. And every time Triple H says something, CM Punk is smirking about it. And this is, about a month before CM Punk leaves. So then eventually they stop cutting to CM Punk because he's making a mockery of the whole thing. So I love that promo as a whole.
That promo alone just could have hyped up so many things, because at the time, I guess they were doing the whole thing where Triple H and Shawn screwed Danielson out of the match in Hell in the Cell. But, Triple H got wailed on by Punk, but then Punk took a super kick, and immediately I'm just like, okay, let's blow our load on a wallet here, Vince. Let's get Shawn versus Punk, please.
No, that would have been so good.
You also seen the recent news about CM Punk?
Back surgery.
Yeah. UFC fight's been suspended. What a pussy.
I don't even know why I was surprised when I read that. I was like, oh yeah, of course. It's been 2 years.
Yeah, well,
Ryback sent him a nice tweet though.
Did he?
God, well, Ryback can send him his nice tweets, but Ryback did cripple Punk twice.
He's probably the reason for that surgery.
Probably.
It's probably hey man, sorry I broke your back. I'm dumb.
Sorry I tore that muscle in your leg that one time.
No.
You mean Ryberg.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks, guys. Danielson's gone, and it's reading the tweets that other wrestlers have sent to him, even got me a little teary-eyed. I'll tell you this right now, I am not the biggest Davey Richards fan.
Boo!
As soon as are you booing me because I don't like Davey Richards?
No, Davey Richards is a piece of shit.
Oh yeah, Eddie Edwards all day. Okay, fuck Davey Richards, but
fuck Davey Richards.
I mean, but as soon as Danielson got signed, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Davey Richards, best in the world," blah 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 blah. So immediately my response was, eat a dick. But
you're a piece of shit.
He put a tweet out and he said, a lot of people have been labeled the best in the world. I've been labeled the best in the world, but you, sir, are in fact the original and always the best in the world. Or I may not have said it all word for word, but
Yeah, but
that's the point. That was
more
the
or
point he
less,
got
yeah.
across. And I was like, oh man, Davey Richards, good on you, buddy.
Yeah, but then you're like, oh wait, I still fucking hate you. Fuck Davey Richards. Boo.
you saw the next tweet and it said CWE superstar, and you're like, who the fuck do you think you are?
Oh my god, then Great Khali burst through the wall.
More on that later.
Brother.
More on that later.
Yes.
So, every week, Smart Henry, you're new to this, but every week,
Yarp.
Tim and I analyze a timeline in which The Rock and whoever our first big subject is, we flip their lives around. So in this case, The Rock, I don't know at what point you want to start it, but The Rock takes on the life of Daniel Bryan, and Daniel Bryan takes on the life of The Rock. So
Okay.
the Miz's rookie is
Mhm.
The Rock.
Mhm.
Sheamus beats The Rock in 12 seconds at WrestleMania.
Thank God.
And we get Daniel Bryan versus John Cena in 2 consecutive WrestleManias. That'd have been fun. Anything else you gentlemen can think of as far as...
I also wanted
yeah.
to point out, so the fact is that Daniel Bryan mentioned that he's been pro for 16 years. This means he's only been wrestling since the year 2000,
Yes.
essentially. So we'd
so
have
that
to
would mean-
consider that the fact that when The Rock debuted as Rocky Maivia, if we switched the roles there, it would have been a young Bryan Danielson walking out with no wrestling training whatsoever in a Samoan outfit, ready to face out and go for it with no wrestling training whatsoever, and thus a star was born.
I also got to look at the aspect of the fact that if they're switching roles, and that means that The Rock is trained by Shawn Michaels. And in that case,
Oh,
the
wow.
training's not showing Rocky.
You ain't done shit. The Rock versus Kenta from Glory by Honor.
I'm not going to lie, I think I'd hate that match.
I think that'd be mental. I don't think I'd get it. I think I'd watch it and be like, this isn't meant to happen, and then probably it would surpass expectations on that timeline itself. You'd also have Daniel Bryan would have been the Scorpion King.
Yeah.
The Scorpion Goat. The Goat King.
The Goat King.
Oh, the Goat King.
In
the Goat
The
King.
Mummy, set in lovely Devon, England, with a mass of mummified goats coming towards our lovely Crusader of Evil.
I had him in... I didn't know that this was a thing on our other 2. It would have been really good for the Big Show comparison. Daniel Bryan would be cast as the Bigfoot in America's Book of Secrets. And Daniel Bryan is Bigfoot. You know, the 5'8" Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan,
He's-
you also like
he's
this. Daniel
terrifying.
Bryan would be in movies. I guess is the short and sweet of it. He would actually be in movies.
Because I looked at his IMDb to try to see what The Rock would have been in, and he hasn't been in any movie where he hasn't played himself. So,
Oh, Daniel Bryan would have been Hercules, man.
a
Yeah.
David and Goliath version of Hercules.
He would have been the gay guy from what's that stupid? It's like the sequel to Get Shorty. I forgot what it was. I worked
Get
at the
Smart?
movie for it.
Pain and Gain, is that what it is?
No, not Pain and Gain.
Get Smart?
No, not Get Smart. He was straight in Get Smart. No, he played a gay guy.
Oh, I
One
know.
of the actors.
Oh, hang on. I know which one you mean because I have seen it. He plays a gay guy, doesn't he?
Be Cool.
Be Cool, that's
Oh,
it.
yeah, be cool.
Yeah.
That's with Uma Thurman, isn't it?
I don't
I love
recall
you,
who
Uma
was in
Thurman.
it.
If you're listening.
Listen, Uma, call me. Kimberly, you are my wife. Anyway,
I don't think Daniel Bryan would have accepted the role in the Tooth Fairy.
however, I do think Daniel Bryan would have done the legitimate suicide dive in the other guys.
Yeah.
I don't see Rocky doing any suicide dives ever.
I would have one role as well. I would have liked to see Daniel Bryan in Journey 2, The Mysterious Island.
I saw he would also be in Journey 3 and Journey 4.
It's true.
As those have not come out yet, but they are announced. So
Dude, the
Oh,
fact that
that's
there's a third Purge movie coming out makes me kind of sad.
Oh, I'm happy.
It's not necessary at all.
well, if Daniel
was,
Bryan's
neither
in, would
was
you go see it?
the Saw films, but apparently there's another one of them coming out.
Yes, my dad told me about that. I was really freaked
I was
out
not
that
happy about
Dad
that.
said- No, me
How many
neither.
is that? Is that 7 or 8?
That would be 8.
Holy shit! Daniel Bryan would have been in Doom.
That movie was terrible.
Yeah, but imagine Daniel Bryan in it. He would have been going like full vegan.
Holy. Yo, what happens if a vegan gets turned into a zombie?
They eat. It's like Troll. You ever seen Troll 2?
Yeah, I've seen Troll 2. Many a time.
They grab humans and they turn them into vegetables.
And then you can eat them.
And then you can eat them. It's no problem. They're eating her.
Dogg is a spoiler. Can't piss on hospitality, Tim. You can't. Just can't do it. Alright. Well, that was fun. Anything else? Or we're going to move into... hurrah.
I'm done talking about The Rock. Let's move on to another guy.
So, Titus O'Neil is in the doghouse. Titus O'Neil is in the doghouse.
He's being made. He's being made an example of. Like, yes, there are people that get along with Vince, I'm sure, to the point where you could do that. But at the same time, if Titus O'Neil does it, everybody's going to think that they can just walk up to Vince and do that. So Vince has got to
set an example.
And that sucks because Titus O'Neil...
He's your boy.
Despite that I don't really care for his in-ring singles work, I like his tag work. But it's just like my issue that I had with Cena for a really long time. But Cena outside of the ring does so much for kids. Like, I respect and appreciate everything that John Cena and Titus O'Neil and a lot of other wrestlers, what they do for those children outside of the ring. But I just think it sucks that he had to be made an example of.
Yeah, because
essentially what happened with Titus O'Neil is, this isn't exclusive, by the way. Just thought I'd say exclusive info from an insider job, my friend. Titus O'Neil was suspended initially for 90 days, but hours later, 30 days were cut from this punishment. Titus claims that he stated he grabbed Vince's arm playfully, but also said, "Ladies first," because Vince was walking in front of his daughter, Stephanie McMahon. Steph and Vince initially appear to be walking side by side at this point. So his explanation does actually play out, and it does stand out. So Titus O'Neil could be essentially just trying to save his ass. But the entertaining part is as well that Batista decided to put his opinion out on
he
this.
Loves Titus.
Batista told him to quit.
Yeah, Batista was like, "Get the fuck out of there, kid." You know what I'm like. Batista wants him to walk alone just because Batista's so alone by himself anyway. Fucking selfish bastard. I did something better. I called Titus O'Neil and told him to ask to be released.
Yeah, because he was the person that said a few months ago, he was like, they're stupid for not pushing Titus. They're just boys.
Batista currently looks like if Bubba Ray Dudley ever became civil and became a father figure to people. That's what Batista looks like currently. That's what I find weird. But no, Titus O'Neil is the man. Like, if you go through Titus O'Neil's Twitter, there was so many stories, like, over the past year of him, like, taking his time out. He took, like, 20-something homeless people to a restaurant just to eat out.
Yeah.
And paid it all off his back. Didn't ask WWE for any money whatsoever.
And it's on a mid-carder salary. Mid-carder.
Yeah, mid-carder. Titus O'Feels. That's what it is.
Titus O'Feels.
Titus O'Feels.
I've got those, yeah.
I ran into Titus O'Neil at an indie show in Florida, like, before he got on TV.
Did he start popping the... I'm just going to make sure I can get this out. Did he start popping the...
No. He actually took. That was the night that Clayton and Soy Boy and Ryan Storm got the shit beat out of them by currently he wasn't at the time, but now he is a former NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the Tokyo Monster Kahangas, and they got the crap beat out of them. And Titus O'Neil came up to them in the parking lot right as we were leaving, and he was telling them, "Yeah, man, I'm signed to WWE and I ain't done shit yet. They haven't even got me on TV and blah blah blah." Like, long story short, Titus O'Neil gave him the pep talk, and now Clayton is an indie wrestler.
Hey, in his head he is.
You've been touched by the greats, Henry. So, is it right for them to suspend Titus?
No. 100% an overreaction.
Yeah.
It's literally the most... The thing is, Vince has done it so many times before in the fact that he's overreacted to so many actions on there, but he forgives them eventually. I mean, if Titus O'Neil got fired over it, I would be more furious over the actual thing, because you've had certain things that were a hell of a lot worse that happened, in the sense that, like, Vince was like, oh, I need to get really mad at this. Because you've had things like, fucking hell, Stone Cold Steve Austin when he walked out.
Yeah, he's...
Yeah.
CM Punk walking out. You've had things like Alberto Del Rio slapped a fucking creative producer, and he's back now. And the
It
first
was
time
only
he
a
was back,
creative
he wins.
producer, wasn't Vince.
That's still a person
No,
that's fresh
yeah.
in the team. Lana announcing a pregnancy. Not pregnancy. Fuck. Lana announcing she's
You heard it here
engaged.
first.
Hey, Tim Lee, insider information. I'm as inside as The Rock was. Hey. Relevant.
You sexist.
Think about this: the Huckster and the Nacho Man. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have things like
Don't say he's gonna get
the
the whole
Nacho
thing.
Man. The
Yeah.
Nacho Man.
Montreal
Kansas
Screw Job.
Yeah, he'll be in the Hall of
Perfect
Fame.
example, exactly.
I've
Titus
seen
O'Neil
Vince
is
McMahon-
a
I've seen
legend.
Vince McMahon take freaking attitude adjustments. I've seen him take stunners. I've seen him get punted in the head
Yeah,
by
you-
Randy
you-
Orton
you
as
beat
hard
me
as
to
I've
it.
ever seen him punt anybody.
Guys, you don't understand. It's all part of the work.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean that'll be his excuse.
grapefruits.
That'll be his excuse. But who gives a shit?
Yeah, I was gonna post a picture of him, DX throwing him into Big Show's ass and being like, well, you know,
That was one of the best things ever.
could be worse. Titus O'Neil
Titus O'Feels.
could have been barred from getting a WWE title match ever again. Oh wait,
I bet you if Darren Young did it, he wouldn't have suspended Darren Young. You know, 'cause
Yeah, he
he's
would.
gay.
Hey, that's discriminating. He would have suspended him because he's black. We understand this, and we accept it because that's Vince. Nah, Titus O'Neil. He'll be back before you know it.
free Titus.
Yeah, he'll be back 10 days after Mania.
That sucks.
Damn.
I love him.
Yeah, we'll just get him over like Daniel Bryan now.
Yeah.
No, no. That's
Hurrah,
not,
hurrah.
The next Daniel Bryan.
if anything, the next Daniel Bryan needs to be Sami Zayn.
Yeah, now he can
Yeah.
thrive because
Sami Zayn's tweet was one of the most.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, his tweet was so good.
I mean, I know we're on Titus O'Neil right now, but I'm gonna go back to one thing that bothers me with I mean, it's great that he's gone. Danielson's done because of the obvious, concussions and just not being 100%. But the matches that we all expected and hoped to see from just NXT and like just when they get to the main roster, like I was really excited for obviously Sami Zayn and him, Balor and him, and this match has happened a million times in Ring of Honor, but Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan on Monday night on a Raw or on a SmackDown or on a pay-per-view, God forbid, like
Yeah.
that would have fucking blown my mind completely.
yeah, now we're just gonna have to hope Titus O'Neil pulls out those quality matches.
Titus O'Neil versus AJ Styles, people.
Hold on, guys, real quick. What is this? This is not what I wanted. All right, I just wanted him to. I was just trying to pull up a montage of him going hurrah hurrah hurrah.
My boy.
My boy. All right, well, enough of Titus. He's going to come back and win the world title in like 6 years anyway. So.
Yeah, he'll be alright.
Actually, he's 38, so I just saw that.
He's
on
got
Twitter.
the look too. Like that's
Yeah, he does have the look.
He has the height.
He's been wrestling for 17 years and he's 38. Did you say he's 38?
He's 38.
17? what?
Titus O'Neil's been wrestling longer than Danielson.
17,
I don't think he's been
38.
wrestling for.
Oh.
Alright, whatever.
I ended it on Fetty Wap, so.
On to new things, because Titus O'Neil, he'll be back next week. It's a work.
It's all a damn
not
work.
real. Vince McMahon is a work.
He
Titus
is.
O'Neil versus Undertaker.
Oh.
Guaranteed.
Yep. It's going to be a squash match. Titus is going to beat him in
Titus
6
yeah, Titus
seconds.
going to go over.
All right, so we will turn things over now to our the world's smartest fan, Smart Henry,
What it is.
as you will now discuss with us PWG.
Oh yes.
Dive in. It's all you.
My friends, we have what a lot of people call their bread and butter, what they're good at, what they're known for. PWG, that's my thing. That is my thing. PWG has they have been killing it. They've been like a lot of people. They're not obviously a contender against such promotions as WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling, because those are the top two promotions in the world. Like, yes, TNA is a thing, but it's not a thing. And ROH is doing a lot better, and they've got syndicated TV and everything, but those are the top two tiers. If you want to talk about non-televised professional wrestling at its absolute best, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, based out of Reseda, California, is the best thing going in wrestling, in my opinion. Recently, over the last year or so, guys, their roster has been cut drastically.
Yeah.
That's because Ring of Honor was signing everybody to contracts and conflicting work dates and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, they've come to an agreement that, if we're not having our own show that day, then absolutely you can book our Ring of Honor talent, which led to All-Star Weekend. I believe it's 11 happened a couple, maybe a month and change or so ago. But, I bought that as soon as I saw the previews for both shows. Like, I read the results like I often do, but the previews for that blew my mind completely for the fact that I would say that Kyle O'Reilly, I remember seeing Kyle O'Reilly in 2009, but Kyle O'Reilly, I've been watching Kyle since 2009, and he's been killing it. Ever since then, he's just been rising up through the ranks with all his goodiness. But he was the PWG champion, and he was having the best matches, and he won Bola, and he dethroned Adam Cole, who was the longest reigning PWG champion. And then he had to cut it because of Ring of Honor contracts.
Yeah.
And Adam Cole had to cut his run there because of his injury that he received at Final Battle against Jay Briscoe. He had to have shoulder surgery and arm. I think he has surgery on his arm as well, besides his shoulder. But the fact that at Bola, Battle of Los Angeles, the biggest tournament in independent pro wrestling, besides like the G1 Climax in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Super Dragon got hurt again. Big surprise.
Hey.
Super Dragon constantly gets hurt. He hurt himself double stomping another human being. So the faction known as Mount Rushmore 2.0, which is consisting of the greatest tag team in pro wrestling today, Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, Shitty Little Boots himself, Roderick Strong, the PWG champion, and the returned Super Dragon. They hyped up this guerrilla warfare match that's supposed to go down, and yada, yada, yada. Obviously, Super Dragon wasn't going to come back. He's going to stick to what he's good at, booking great shows. And since they made that deal with Ring of Honor, Adam Cole under a Super Dragon mask, everyone's like, oh man, it's Super Dragon. But that's a skinny Super Dragon. That's an unheard of thing. What is this, 2006? Get out of here. And then the simple term that we have all said in our lives, but Adam Cole managed to make this a trademark by saying, suck my dick. And then the crowd popped. And then Adam Cole killed Candice LeRae for like the 8th time in his life. And then the mask came off, and the crowd, it doesn't matter if you're a face or a heel. Like,
the crowd in Excalibur lost their shit.
PWG crowd, you could murder a baby, but if you're over, they'll be like, fuck yeah, it's the baby murderer.
That's
and
true.
baby murderer in this case being Adam Cole, baby. So, needless to say, that hyped up the next day's match where they had those members of Mount Rushmore 2.0 versus, I believe it was the team Joey Ryan, Candice LeRae, Speedball Mike Bailey, and my hero, your hero, our hero, Chris Hero. But during the match, the lights went off, and of course the return of Kyle O'Reilly, which got a humongous pop. It just, PWG is top tier, is what I'll say. It's a super show fed, honestly. If you look at it the right way, it is just a super show fed where, oh man, Ring of Honor is really cool, CCW's cool, ICW's cool, Progress is cool, RPW's cool, all these indie feds are cool, but that's like the one fed that you can go to and just be happy to know. Like, I mean, a lot of indie feds do that where they bring in people, but they'll have like their local mainstay talent. If you look at PWG now, even people that are like PWG bred, like the Young Bucks and Brian Cage, like those are honestly the only people I think of that are PWG bred, not bred, but like they made their names at PWG, honestly. But now you can look and see that every single person on that roster is pretty much from a different promotion. I can even say the Young Bucks are more of a New Japan kind of wrestling tag team now, or even Ring of Honor since they're contracted to Ring of Honor. And then you got Brian Cage, who's always in Mexico for AAA, and he's doing Lucha Underground. So everybody that comes into PWG, it's a big super show feel every single show. Like, they're good. They've been good for years. They've been great for years. But in the last
I'd say since like 2011.
I would
I
say
know it's
since
like 5 years.
2011. I would honestly agree with you. Whenever they did, maybe 2011, 2012.
I'd say anything onwards from. Do you remember Steen Wolf?
Steen Wolf was fan-fucking-tastic. That ladder
that's
match
the one that hooked me.
That everybody brings up, anybody that talks to me about PWG, where they're like, oh yeah, so that Steen Wolf show was really good. Yes, it was. But it also felt like there was a couple shows here and there where, like, All-Star Weekend's supposed to be one of their bigger shows besides Bola, but All-Star Weekend had some people that were cool, but at the same time, people got hurt, so you're watching the show, and the crowd didn't really seem into it. I remember they did Chris Hero versus Claudio Castagnoli for the PWG title. I would be losing my shit for this, and I had a friend who attended that show, but apparently the match went almost an hour, and it was a long day anyway, and everybody was like, all right, we're ready to go home. A lot of people were feeling that at Bola this year when I went or last year when I was attending it, but it's the fact that if you're not a diehard wrestling fan, then don't really, don't get bummed that you're going to be there watching two of the best technical wrestlers go at it for 45 minutes or so. What did you really expect from Hero and Claudio?
What did you expect, you dumb fuck?
Quality. That's what I expected. Quality.
Quality and quantity. It doesn't go bad in those on. It's people who just don't understand.
Yeah, you gotta understand that.
Everyone has a different opinion, unfortunately. That's a bad thing.
Yeah, some people's opinions are wrong.
Exactly. Like, being labeled as a smark, I'm not one of the smarks that is a know-it-all. I'm not a smark that's going to invoke my will against you and say, oh, your opinion's dog shit, but here's my opinion, which is better. That's not who I am.
I beg to differ, Henry. Sorry, I just lost all my focus. My phone opened, and this is relevant, alright?
Alright.
They just posted like the most gorgeous photo of Sasha Banks ever.
Wait, there's such a thing as a not gorgeous photo of Sasha Banks?
No, but it's like the best. Like,
I'm telling Kim.
She is gorgeous.
You tell Kim all you want. If that is the life I have to live, I live that life. I will. One of my favourite things that I've heard about PWG recently, though, is obviously I follow them on Twitter, so that's where I know most of their stuff. And I do watch the previews and stuff. It's just I watch them as soon as they come out. So like coming up to now, it's been a couple of weeks. So you've essentially given me a refresher on what it is. One of my favourite things that I know is going to happen is that Dalton Castle is debuting at PWG.
And against who?
I cannot wait. Oh,
and against
man.
who?
Who's he against?
Chuck Taylor.
Which is going to be ridiculous.
Dude, we just got Kikutaro here at the last PWG show, or I think it was night 2 of All-Star Weekend 11. They did Kikutaro, the original Ebasan, versus Chuck Taylor.
Yeah, it was.
That's hilarious.
I very much enjoyed it.
That is fucking hilarious.
Henry, what was your favorite match, I guess, of each day?
Oh, of Bola?
No, of All-Star Weekend.
I thought you meant of when I went. I'm sorry. I don't know, because I haven't been able to watch the shows in full, but like from previews I could pick matches that I think would be awesome, but many times PWG has swerved me where I'm like, oh, that looks like it's going to be the best match of the day, but then I watch the full show and I'm like, oh, goddamn, this was way, way better than I expected. Like, they did a Mystery Vortex show. They've done, like, I think 3, and they're always good because they don't even advertise a card. I think the first one they did, they advertised 2 matches or 1 match, and then the rest of it, they didn't tell you what was going to happen. That's, like, to have that much confidence in yourself as a wrestling company, as a promotion, that like, oh, all these people are we're gonna sell out front row within 4 fucking minutes of us releasing it, which they do every single show.
That's unreal.
I was so blown away by that. But I mean, I watched one of their Mystery Vortex shows, the last one they did, and they did Brian Cage versus number 1 John Silver of the Beaver Boys, and that match I was like, oh, that's so weird. I guess I'm gonna watch it, but I don't know what I'm gonna think. I thought it was fucking great. Like, little John Silver's like a angry, like, muscular dude. He's like a mini Brian Cage.
Yeah, little small, like, muscular man.
Yeah, and he's holding Brian Cage up for fucking stalling suplexes into jackhammers. I mean, what the fuck? But I will say this. I am happy that the Ring of Honor PWG agreement, where if they can bring in their stars, they will. But I'm pretty sure PWG's on a certain budget where they can bring in only X amount of stars unless it's a super show. But if I could pick a couple people from Ring of Honor that they used to have come in, bring them back, like Cedric Alexander needs to come back.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%. He was quality.
He is nothing but money. He is nothing but money. ACH needs to come back.
Love ACH.
ACH once laughed at a joke I made. True story. Cannot remember what I said at this current moment in time, but I remember I was standing next to him during an RPW show. It was Kyle O'Reilly versus Kushida. And the guy shouted out, "This match gave me..." This guy shouted out, "This match is giving me a wrestling boner," and I was like, "That's the gayest wrestling thing I've ever heard." And ACH turned round to me and just looked at me. I felt appreciated for about 5 seconds.
That's good.
But that's a real thing now.
But PWG's
Jay Lethal, I'd like to see.
Jay Lethal.
I'm a fan.
He got brought in He got brought in for, I think, a weekend, like one weekend. He wrestled Eddie Edwards in a good match, and then he wrestled Willie Mack. And this is not a popular opinion. I've heard this from a lot of friends that they don't like my opinion of this, which is fine because it's an opinion. I'm not into Willie Mack, and I'm not bummed that they don't book Willie Mack in PWG anymore. But then again, he's working Lucha Underground, and I do enjoy his stuff in Lucha Underground.
He's doing well there, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he's doing really well there. But it's the fact that in PWG, like, there was a point where they hyped up Willie Mack to the fucking moon. They brought in, I was there in California. They brought in Naruki Doi. They were doing it was a Wrestle Reunion is what it was called, and they did a show called Kurt Russell Reunion 3. And the match was Naruki Doi from Dragon Gate, one of the longest Open the Dream Gate champions. At the time, he held the record of days held the belt. And they put Willie Mack over him because they were hyping him up really hard to win the belt. And then at the one show where you thought he was going to win the fucking belt against Kevin Steen, he ended up losing, and then he kind of just fizzled out from there on. And I'm not bummed that he's not in PWG anymore at all. But a lot of people hate me for that. But yeah. But there are plenty of people that I feel that, I mean, obviously, like I said before, there's X amount of money to be spent, and you could bring in certain people. And I mean, they had AR Fox there for like 2 years, and he won one match ever.
Yeah, true. And
it was a multi-man, and he pinned Bobby Fish. And the fact they brought in Bobby Fish, I thought was awesome. Hopefully they bring in Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly as a collective unit again, because Red Dragon was awesome. They could have done so much more at PWG. Like, I remember a couple years ago when Cole and O'Reilly were still a tag team. They were Future Shock, and they wrestled the Bucks in ROH in maybe an 8 or 7 minute match, and it was fun. It was good. But then I remember, I think it was the Kevin Steen show that they did, where I think Kyle was on it, and he said, or maybe it was Adam Cole saying, "Hey, do you want to come to PWG and do that for 15 minutes of this nonstop sprint?" And that match was really fucking good. I don't think Future Shock did enough in PWG because Adam Cole immediately got pushed to the top because he's the man. But I would have loved to have seen Red Dragon versus the Bucks in PWG, despite the fact that in ROH they've done everything. They did 2 out of 3 falls matches here and there. But I still think that there are certain people that should be brought in that aren't brought in. But I do not run a wrestling promotion. It's not my show to book. I mean, they want to spend the money on Chris Dickinson and spend the money on Chris Dickinson, whatever. But that's money. That's money that could be going to
Tim Lee.
Tim Lee, exactly.
They got Will.
They do have Will Ospreay, but they bring him in on super shows like Bola and All Star Weekend, where you don't want to fly over somebody from across the pond for one day show.
Yeah.
But you will fly him over to lose both nights.
They did.
They already made him look like they already put him in matches and they made him look like gold at Bola anyway. Like
even against Kenny Omega, he looked really. That was awesome from what I saw from the preview.
Guys, I'm shitting on him. Give me a damn break.
All right, no. Here, I'm gonna support you with this one, Tim. Best part about Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega from that preview is Chuck Taylor's commentary. Will Ospreay clearly not knowing how chainsaws work.
Living up to his... Oh, God. Will.
Do British people not know how chainsaws work, Tim? Do you guys not have chainsaws over there?
What is a chainsaw, guys?
I might not know either.
It's just Will Ospreay that doesn't.
Are you kidding? Hey, the thing is, me and Will used to use that move when we were in a tag team. We used to use the chainsaw. So imagine this someone's face, just for the purpose of audio. I'm using my fist as a face right now, and rubbing the chainsaw. We used to do that and rub someone's face, but we used to wrench it. Imagine it's a chainsaw and then rub it on their face. We used to call it the fabulous chainsaw. So he knows how one works.
Okay.
But I think due to pressure and the humid climate in Reseda, California, Will temporarily forgot how to chainsaw. He knows flips. We know this. He's not into chainsaws. He's not a man who likes sawing bones off. He's a man who's like soaring through the air.
Exactly.
Do you like that pun? I think you did.
I told Will. Will asked me what kind of crazy flip should he try to do at Bola when I was talking to him, and I said, "Yo, why don't you do?" I only said this because I've taken this move from another person, but I said, "Yo, why don't you get somebody in the corner and have them sitting in the corner and just run into the corner and do a spiral tap into them because you can do running spiral taps." He's like, "Are you kidding me? Don't you know about my neck injuries?" I was like, "Dude, no, I don't. This is my first time meeting you. If you think you're going to get hurt doing a running spiral tap into the corner, then don't do it."
Beautiful man.
I'm done talking about PWG. I feel like I've talked enough about PWG.
All right, we will.
Dan, what is our next topic?
We are talking about total non-stop action wrestling.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Somehow still on television, Pop TV.
Right. This is my segment where I just have to.
Yeah, so we're gonna do something
that you tell me about.
I was gonna
Dan
review.
and I are gonna blow your mind.
I was gonna review TNA, and then I had to watch a lot of ads on YouTube, and then I decided, all right, I'm gonna turn this into a fun trivia game for Tim. So Tim, when was the last time you checked in with TNA?
The last full episode I watched.
No, I guess what was the last thing that happened that happened? What was the last?
I know that Will wrestled for them in Wembley. That's the main stuff I know. The last main thing I heard was Grado got like some sort of briefcase. This is how far away I am.
Okay. It's not far at all, actually. You're like
you're like
off.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I don't pay attention to it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
And in the sense that I haven't watched the TNA clip in so long. I've seen pictures and tweets and news articles about stuff like that. I haven't watched TNA in about 2 years.
Okay.
Proud of you.
So,
Do you know who the champ is?
let me have a guess. Can you give me a hint?
Yes.
Fat. Scott Steiner.
Fat.
Oh, Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
There you go.
I was like, I thought you just think, yeah,
So
he's fat.
I'll bring you up to speed on what happened with that, and then we'll dive into the trivia because I was blown away at what happened. So,
okay.
At Bound for Glory, Matt Hardy beats EC3, becomes TNA champion. EC3 files an injunction.
Fucking.
The title becomes vacant, and then they do the TNA World Title Series, a la it's like World Cup style. And the finals.
There's so many different what is it? There were so many different
groups.
Groups, yeah.
Yeah, there was a women's group,
Yeah, there was a women's group.
Or there's women.
Oh, you know what? Now that you didn't know that this happened, I will read you up the. We'll go through that because that was.
Oh no, actually, wasn't that when?
Here, I'll tell you
Bruno
this.
Gail Kim.
There was a former world champions one. There was an X Division one. There was a newcomer one. There was a tag team specialist one. There was a women's one. I think there was a UK one.
There's like 7
yes, there
different
was a
brackets.
UK one.
Yeah, I know that one of them was Grado, Mark Andrews. I want to say Drew Galloway.
There's no. No, Mark Andrews wasn't in it.
Yeah, he was. He didn't win a single match.
Oh no, yeah, I see him now. He wasn't in he was in the X Division group.
Yep, that sounds right.
So we get EC3 and Matt Hardy in the old finals.
Okay.
And EC3 wins. 2 weeks later, January 19th, 2016 edition of Impact Wrestling. It's a last man standing match. Matt Hardy wins. And there was a double turn. So EC3, who had been a heel for his entire run, turns face. Matt Hardy turns heel. And Tyrus, formerly known as
Brodus Clay.
Funky's on a roll.
Exactly. Turns on his bodyguard. Or no, the bodyguard turns on
the body that he was guarding.
Yeah, the body that he was guarding. And he joins Hardy and becomes a heel.
Yep.
That brings us to this episode of Impact, where the first question for you. So, opening promo, we get Matt Hardy in the ring, we get his wife in the ring, we get Tyrus in the ring, and Matt wants Dixie to fire EC3 because he wants to make the company better. Nothing at all like what's best for business. He wants to make TNA better. Nothing. So in the background, while Matt Hardy is cutting this promo, this very weird heel promo, Tyrus is just standing there holding an injunction he will submit to Dixie Carter if she does not fire EC3. B, Matt Hardy's TNA World Championship, a flag. Oh, this is C. C, a flag with the name of the new faction name of their insurrection. Or D, Matt's child.
Oh God. I'm gonna go with B. I thought I wish there was an E. The only reason is because if grapes were involved in any sort of way, then this would have made me want to go back to watching TNA. But I'm gonna go with a solid B, my friend.
The correct answer was D.
They were holding. Brodus Clay is holding Matt Hardy's child.
You gave your child to Snoop Dogg's former bodyguard.
He fed his child to Brodus Clay. Yes.
Brodus Clay
He's just
doesn't
holding
need
it the
any
whole
more
time.
feeding. That fat fuck. God damn.
But Grado's moving in with him apparently, in real life. Like Grado might be moving to the States and living with him, according to Snapchats that I've seen.
That makes terrible sense. It makes sense, but it's terrible sense. That's the only way I can say it.
Funk is on a roll.
Funk is on the roll to.
Oh, and how about the new contenders for the TNA tag titles?
Oh, we'll get to that. I got a question about that. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah. The second question, during Bobby Lashley's match against Bram, your boy.
Oh
your
yeah,
countryman.
it's that I beat my wife.
Fun. Well, let's
Charlotte.
Let's pivot off that for a moment. Bram got arrested on August 31st, 2015. I looked this up today. He was out September 1st. September 16th, he returned to TNA and became a face after getting out of jail.
He lives the life, man.
Yeah, and he he's already back heel again anyway. But during Lashley's match, Lashley now wears a headband. What color headband does Lashley wear? Is it white? Is it black? Is it black and red? Is it camo? Or is it blue?
There's no special events going on apart from Valentine's Day. I'm gonna go. Black and red.
Black and red? Incorrect. It was white. It doesn't look good on him at all. It slides off his bald head.
Racist.
Me? Or
No, TNA, you didn't book it. You didn't book that headband.
Listen, TNA, in one calendar year, TNA turned, I want to say it was Samoa Joe. Heel, face, whatever, back and forth. They turned Samoa Joe 5 times in a year once.
The boy.
Maybe less. I might be exaggerating, but it sure as hell felt that much.
Every time there was a pay-per-view, we didn't know whether Samoa Joe was meant to be cheered or booed.
Every time I had to sit through another Samoa Joe versus Magnus match, or Samoa Joe versus Devon match, or if I got lucky, I was there for Samoa Joe, AJ, and Christopher Daniels. I think it was number 4 or 5. But like it was, it just turning him heel and face so many times. AJ, Kurt Angle, like it got frustrating after a while. Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, like they were all getting switched face heel, and that just is really annoying.
They probably forgot in between tapings. They were like, all right, who was the face last time? And then they wouldn't think back to watch their own media. All right.
Hello.
Question number 3, Tim. So the Wolves, sort of challenged, but also, so there's this tag team they're called the Decay. It's Abyss, Crazy Steve, and this broad Rosemary.
My boy.
I'll say this much: Rosemary is she is Shimmer Wrestling. She's a Shimmer female wrestler, and her name is Courtney Rush, and I liked her as Courtney Rush, but now she has a character, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. So what happened was the Decay stole the titles from the Wolves, and Wolves are not happy about that. So the Wolves sort of challenged them to get their belts back for next week, and the Decay, who they agree on a match in which the Wolves will defend their TNA Tag Team Championships that are currently in the possession of the Decay next week on Impact. Is that match A, an Extreme Elimination Tag, Extreme with an X.
Oh, okay, cool.
Monsters Ball match, a 6 Sides of Steel match, or a loser leaves the total non-stop action Impact zone.
Which they haven't been doing.
Shit. I've never heard of them both, but I know one of them I don't like. So hopefully it's for the tap to go out the opening. I'd say the D answer.
The loser leaves TNA?
Yeah.
Nope.
Right, it was a Monsters Ball.
Fucking hell, they run that shit into the ground.
Yeah, because it's Abyss's match.
Yeah, it's Abyss's match. There's been 40. There's been 45. He's been.
I was at the
all
first
45.
one.
The fuck? There's been 45 different monsters.
And there's like 4 a year.
The second one was the best.
This boy.
The second one was the best one. The concept that they had for Monsters Ball originally, which they hyped it up, and the way they advertised it for the first one, which was Abyss, Monty Brown, and Raven, I really enjoyed it because the concept was we're going to lock 3 guys in, like, I guess, a dark room with no windows and no food, no water for, I think it's like 24 hours or 12 hours or something like that.
24.
For 24 hours, for an extended period of time, you're locked in this frickin' room with no light, no food, no water, and we're going to let your animal instincts take over. And they had these little, like, vignette these little promos that they were doing in these dark rooms, like, while they're waiting. Of course, Raven's looks the best because he's got a straight jacket and he's got the eye makeup and he's just miserable and he's Raven. But, like, that was so interesting the way it was hyped up originally. But the second one is probably the most famous Monsters Ball, where it was Abyss, Sabu, Jeff Hardy, and Rhino.
That's crazy. I've seen that one.
Yeah.
So is the thing now you're still getting locked in a room for 24 hours, or have they...
No. They dropped that gimmick after the first one, I believe.
Oh, man. That's lame.
That should be what it should. That's what it should be, anyways.
Oh, absolutely. But nobody believes that shit because everybody realizes how real wrestling is, even though, sarcastically I say that.
We should have done. I should have done that for the debate with you and Andrew. I should have said that you guys had been locked in a room for 24 hours and let your animal instincts take over, but I forgot. So, and the last TNA question, because I can't stand to talk about this much longer, is this is inspired from this old podcast I used to listen to, where they would have they would take quotes from the show, and they would ask another person on the show to pick which quote was a real quote. So these are all quotes that happened on Impact or didn't happen on Impact. So this is one. He's walking to the ring. He's a man on a mission. Walking to the ring, man on a mission. A mission that requires walking. Next is, I'm unemployed and you need to help me, Billy.
Oh God!
I know
The irony of that comment now.
The next one is, Mommy, one day I'm gonna grow up and beat that guy.
Oh, that's cute. That's nice.
And then the last one is, eat the feet.
Okay.
Which one of those is real, Tim Lee?
Oh God. Eat the feet.
Eat the feet is real?
Yeah.
You're right, but all of them happen. So you're right.
Oh yeah, but still, you asked me for one. You didn't say is it one or all.
Yeah, but I just
So I've redeemed myself, boys.
all of those things happened. Those are all real quotes.
Real damn things. Yeah.
Billy, you have to help me get my job back. Or that was Grado talking to Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, it was. I was like, this is too good.
That
This
is
has to-
phenomenal. Billy, you have to get me a job back. I'm fucking unemployed.
Give
Yeah,
him the
you,
wee
you
boot.
do a good Grado.
Is that fucking Snoop doing too?
Yep.
Fucking.
Wee boot.
He used to do Vines, and they used to be some of the funniest Vines you'd ever see. It was him on the beach with Jack Jester, and Jack Jester's like, "Hey Grado, who's your favourite wrestler?" And they turn around and it's just Grado buried under the beach, and he just goes, "Yeah, it's the fucking shan't, man." He bursts out of the ground with a kendo stick. I pissed myself for days on end watching that back. It's just, it's the shan't, man. Fucking come on.
Oh, Grado.
Right, I'll be back.
So, are we gonna move on from TNA, or do we have?
Yeah, TNA sucks. We're gonna.
TNA sucks, but I'm gonna say this. The only good thing about TNA is that there are certain wrestlers that are there that deserve jobs, and I'm just happy that they're there to give certain wrestlers money. Like, I'm happy that Grado actually has a contracted wrestling job. He's getting paid. I like that Drew Galloway is probably one of the best wrestlers on the roster, and they let him show that he is a great wrestler. They're not like, they just put him over Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
Like,
they did.
in one of Angle's retirement matches, and they put him over. And it was actually a decent match from what I was told. Who else is like? I mean, they got the Wolves. Like, as I like them as a tag team. I like the American Wolves as a tag team, but I'm an Eddie Edwards guy. If I have to be, picked which Wolf I'm going to go for, it's going to be Eddie Edwards. Tim gets it.
Piece of shit.
Fuck 'em.
Dan, who else is on TNA that I'm actually happy that has a job? Like, Bobby Roode's awesome.
Yeah, Bobby Roode's awesome.
Eric Young's gimmick that he has now is so good that he's just a world class maniac. He's just an asshole heel maniac.
I like that. I'm in.
Former NXT superstar James Storm.
James Storm. I like James Storm. I like James Storm as a part of Beer Money, but I don't like him as anything else. The Hardys, but I don't really care enough that they have jobs. Honestly, like it's not my fault.
Keeping him out of trouble, I guess.
It's keeping Jeff out of trouble.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man, I'm unemployed. Get me a job back. Fuck.
Who else is on that roster that like deserves a job?
Who's left? Let's
Mandrews. Mandrews is contracted and has a job, which is awesome.
Gail Kim.
Gail Kim's good. They just released Awesome Kong again.
Yeah, they did.
She's a filthy bitch.
Let's play a game. Who's still? Austin Aries is still on the roster page.
Oh
but
God.
Yeah,
signed to WWE.
Yeah, I know. Wow, this is the smallest the roster has ever been. Ever.
Well, their roster used to just be independent wrestlers. Like, there was a point that, I mean, if you look at people that used to be in TNA, like back in the Wednesday weekly pay-per-view shows that they did,
God.
Steve
The
Carino.
99 cents.
Yeah, they
Steve
had.
Carino was on there.
Yeah,
I hate Carino.
Tim.
Yeah.
Your fucking mouth.
Lashley. So we're all happy Lashley's got a job.
I could care less. That Lashley has.
Yeah, I don't really give a shit.
I mean, he does have decent matches here and there.
Yeah, he does a decent spear. But he's got a head like it. He's just got the eggiest head I've ever seen.
Why do you not like Steve Carino?
Why don't I like Steve Carino? It's because he's got the same physique as someone that I really hate over here. I mean, Steve Carino as a person is probably really nice, but then the problem is that Steve Carino works for certain companies I will not mention on this podcast because
Ring of Honor?
no, not Ringo. I can't. It's British companies basically.
Okay.
So you can guess which ones they are because he comes over and does them. But it's the people who run them that are pieces of shit. But I won't go into it.
Alrighty.
Keep my
Mickey
opinion on that
James
one.
has a job there.
Safe.
Mickey James still has a job there?
That's what it says on the roster page. I'm just on the roster
Yo,
page.
I love that Global Force Wrestling and them kind of stopped doing their little collaboration that they did for a split. Like, they did it and then they stopped doing it. But
They just gave up.
That's true. But here's the other thing I've noticed. Somebody that was a Global Force Wrestling person is now a TNA person, and that is Trevor Lee. Yeah. The X Division champion, Trevor Lee.
Is he?
Apparently this is his second reign. I didn't realize that. Like, that's how like mediocre their title reigns in that promotion are. Like, I guess I kind of lost count on how many times Chris Sabin's been the X Division champion. I guess
it's
he's
like
6 or 7.
Hail that motherfucker. Hail Sabin.
Rockstar
one of my
Spud.
favourite
Rockstar Spud
themes.
has held that for 2 or 3 reigns now, I believe.
They just trade those belts like fucking mad over there.
They do.
The Wolves have had the tag belts, I think, three or 4 times now, and they've only been with the company maybe 2 years.
They'll never beat the Dudleys.
Never.
The heel Dudleys.
The heel Dudleys.
Take advantage and bring back the Voodoo Kin Mafia.
Well, if Road Dogg gets fired, then they can bring him back.
Yeah, Billy Gunn smoking the pot outside the Performance Center. I just imagine that, like, Billy Gunn's just at night sitting outside the Performance Center because he's that drugged off his head. And then Vince rolls up in the parking lot because he just sees it via CCTV. And Billy, what the fuck are you doing out here?
And he's like, hey, ladies first. And he's like, 90 days.
Pot. Vince, your creative money ain't paying me enough, so I gotta go sell pot, man. That's what I gotta do. You know, these ass cheeks ain't getting the dash anymore. He's not bringing in the butts to seats.
He is the tallest man, Billy Gunn.
Who, Billy Gunn?
Dude, he stood next to Psycho Sid at that Wrestle Reunion thing I was telling you about earlier in California.
Yeah.
He was a few inches taller than Psycho Sid, who is labeled as one of the giants of wrestling.
Yeah, he's massive.
He is tall as shit. I stood behind him in line for Subway, and he was so damn tall.
I'd just like to advise you that Billy Gunn once had a belly button piercing.
Billy Gunn, still to this day, probably wears a thong more than any other garment in his arsenal.
Billy
I
Gunn.
would love to see a Billy Gunn and Joey Ryan tag team.
Yeah.
Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time.
Oh, Christ.
We hear this beautiful man come out of the woods of Punjab, India. This man weighs in at a measly, yet strong, 347 pounds.
347. He dropped. Wow.
He weighs in. This is from WWE Illumini, by the way. It's not an exact weight. He weighs in at 347 pounds. His height staggers above us at a jaw-dropping 7 feet and 1 inch.
Wow.
It's time for the Great Khali's Twitter updates.
Keeping up with the Khali.
With the Punjabi warrior, the Great Khali, in 140 characters or less. Now, mostly these are visual, so I do apologise. I am going to do my best to describe these to you. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a great belter of a tweet to start off, which the Great Khali states it's time to pay back, India, in which a news article reads it's Great Khali says it's time to pay back, Punjab. Quote from Dalip Singh Rana. Oh my fucking god. Is that his last name?
Yeah, Dalip Singh. That's his name.
His last name's Rana.
No, his last name can't be Rana.
That can't be real.
His name is Dalip Singh, though. I know that.
Yeah, but is his last name Rana?
No, it's Sound. No, actually, that's a different person.
I'm going to go watch all the Punjabi prison matches tonight.
Yeah, you and me both.
I need
Oh no,
to make
Rana is his last name.
Holy shit. You heard it here first, folks. The move that he is never ever going to be able to do is his last name. My God. But a quote from Mr. Rana himself, the man who taught Rey Mysterio how to Rana, the great Khali himself. Punjab has given me so much. It is time to pay back to the state as I feel highly obliged, big word for him, to the people of this region. The state police provided me with an opportunity and it helped me to be what I be today. Not what I am, what I be. This man is an inspiration to all Indians across the globe.
Not just Indians. Everybody.
People. Great Khali is fighting a war on drugs, people. He is fighting to keep Punjab drug-free because if you do not know, back in 2011, after his brutal, may I add, slobber knocker of a match with John Cena in which he gets attitude adjustment off a crane.
Oh, that was 2007.
That's one of his few good matches.
Exactly, it put a lot out of him. Great Khali resorted to that terrible drug known as the marijuana. Khali almost ingested a whole marijuana, people. It was dangerous.
A whole marijuana.
A whole marijuana, not one whole marijuana, asshole marijuana. It's essentially worse than the deadly disease going around at the moment known as truffle butter. But, ladies and gentlemen, Great Khali has led a life much bigger than ours. So the second tweet I need to mention to you today.
I've got a good Great Khali tweet. I went back in the archives. I've got a couple good ones, but I feel like if I read them all, it's going to ruin the segment.
I have one. I've got the most recent one, the second most recent one.
All right.
Which is probably one of my favorite Khali tweets of all time.
Shoot, go.
It is, and I quote these words directly. I come first time Dubai. I have lots fun. And the picture we have here is that it is the Great Khali with a do-rag on, fully suited up, in the desert, on top of a fucking Mitsubishi essentially 4x4, just sitting on the bonnet. He is bigger than the car. It's phenomenal. And the only thing I can describe to you is that what makes this image even better is that on the floor there are 3 almost discarded rose petals or sweet potatoes. I don't know how to describe them.
What happens in Dubai?
This reminded me a lot of that homosexual gimmick angle that Orlando Jordan did for a couple months.
So what makes it better as well is that there's a car there, Great Khali sit on the net. He's in the middle of the desert in a damn fucking suit. And in the background, you can just see a man riding a camel so far in the distance. That man's probably been lost for 3 days. And all he can see at the moment is a car and a giant and thinks it's the mirage from hell.
Oh, no.
Great Khali is giving hope to people who are about to die. This man is a genius.
Great Khali leads people out into the desert to die, and then they see a mirage, and they think it's a nice hotel or a convenience store to go into to get a water or get into the shade. They walk into it. They hear a loud gate shut. It's just a Punjabi prison.
Oh, shit. And then Batista walks out and goes, "You're here too? Fuck. Where the fuck is Titus? Fuck. Where the fuck is Titus O'Neil?" Shit. Dan, what are these archive of gold that you...
All right, I'll read a couple. I think if I read them all, we'll ruin the segment.
Pass.
So this one, I don't have the date on this one. This is from 2013, I'm pretty sure. I think, you know what this is? I think this is June 27th, 2013. The Great Khali tweets, "Well, at Brock Lesnar is very good at remodeling. #Raw."
Fucking hell, he's treading on eggshells there, my friend.
I don't even, in like 2013, I don't even know what that would have been.
That was when he returned.
Was that when he went to headquarters and like tore everything up?
I think so.
Oh, that's awesome.
It must be around there.
Yeah, because the Raw after WrestleMania 28 was when Lesnar came out and beat the shit.
That was 2012, so he was around for...
Oh, Khali's risking it there, mate. Does he know who he's speaking to?
No.
He is 7'1" and a measly strong 347 pounds, but that's Lesnar you're speaking to.
And the next one, this is the one I was gonna read to you tonight, and now I am reading it. So that is a true statement that I just said before. Michael, spelled Michal, lowercase now. This is the next word. Jackson, all lowercase, spelled Jakson.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even realize this. Noked, as in Knoked, my door. So, Michael Jackson
Jackson knocked on Great Khali's door.
knocked my door. He said, I want learn Punjabi, not Punjabi, Punjabi dance. I said, I'm busy now, but I promise I'll teach you.
What the fuck?
Make sense of that. Make sense of it. Can you?
So the way I'm looking at this at the moment is Michael Jackson randomly knew who the Great Khali was, because obviously he is a god. Michael Jackson then proceeded to knock on Khali's door. Are we speaking a hotel here or Khali's actual front door?
I have no idea.
Michael Jackson was the secret, like the incognito Khali fan that we once all thought we were. We found out Khali's address and went to his actual house.
I want to know what year this would have been, because this tweet is from 2013. So Michael Jackson. Oh, that was on the Michael Jackson died on June 26th. So this is 4 years.
Jackson's final wish.
Yeah, so this is 4 years later. So I wonder what year that happened to the Great Khali.
Or what Khali was smoking.
Imagine this is great.
Michael Jackson was live.
One whole marijuana, asshole marijuana.
A whole marijuana.
A whole marijuana was ingested before telling this story. So essentially, Great Khali was just an up and comer in the WWE.
When
he decided.
Was he in The Longest Yard? Is that the movie he was in?
Oh my God, he was. Yes.
Oh, so The Rock would have. Wait, no, he wasn't in The Longest Yard.
No.
But The Rock, he was in Gridiron Gang. I get, all those football movies.
All those football movies are just starting to melt.
It's not Remember the Titans, so I don't give a shit.
Hoosiers.
Gridiron Gang.
So, there you have it.
The wrestlers in that movie were the Great Khali, Kevin Nash, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Goldberg,
Wow.
Bob
Sapp, former IWGP Heavyweight Champion Bob Sapp.
Wow.
Who else did you have?
Wrestler-wise, I think that's it.
My favourite thing is that Bob Sapp is just playing an unbelievably
a mentally handicapped black man.
But you went the sensible option. Very well played. It's the first scene that you see him in is the fact that he's lifting an entire fucking stand.
Yeah,
with
features
on it.
He broke my nose.
He broke my nose. He did it on purpose.
I will say this: the cast in that movie was fantastic.
Yeah, it's an Adam Sandler film that I can bear to watch.
I like Mr. Deeds. That's my favorite Adam Sandler movie.
It's the Happy Gilmore,
Billy Madison,
Billy Madison's a classic.
Waterboy. Apart from that,
with Captain Insano.
That's what we said. Captain Insano is The Rock.
Yes,
that would have been ludicrous.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yo, what about wrestlers that have been in movies that aren't like without using the movie The Wrestler?
Okay.
Like, a lot of people, I mean, have any of you seen Major Payne?
No, I don't think so.
Major Payne is that movie with, I think it's with,
no, I have seen Major Payne years ago.
And Bam Bam Bigelow's in that movie.
That's not
God rest his soul. R.I.P. in peace.
R.I.P. in peace.
Got Charles Bam Bam Bigelow. Of course, there's Andre the Giant and the Princess Bride.
Yeah. I just saw on Matt Hardy's Wikipedia page that he and Jeff were in an episode of That 70s Show.
Yes, they were on an
Uncredited.
episode of that '70s show with Ken Shamrock and The Rock. So Daniel Bryan would have been on that '70s show,
Ah, there you go.
playing Rocky Johnson.
Jesus Christ.
Roddy Piper, R.I.P. in peace, was in.
Roddy Piper was in.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yo, that was such a great episode.
That was a great episode.
That had so many things that hit me in the heart because they had Roddy Piper. It was based around wrestling. The last scene of that is Danny DeVito hitting Cricket with a garbage can, and he's bleeding out, and you just hear Real Americans start playing in the end. And then at one point, Dee is trying to. I guess she's been talking to this Afghani war veteran.
Yeah.
And he's like handicapped from the waist down, so he's in a wheelchair. And she said, "Oh yeah, my name's Desert Rose, and when you get to the bus station, I'll be the one wearing all red, and you'll hear me playing a boombox, playing one of my favorite songs of all fucking time, Kiss from a Rose by Seal."
Oh my god, that's such a great episode.
Just hits me in the heart.
I'm gonna go watch that episode when this wraps up. It's classic.
Captain Insano, obviously, with Big Show. Tim, what's another one? Tim Lee.
It's fucking, what is it, 3 a.m. there?
Henry.
Give or take.
Yeah, buddy. The time over here is actually... Is it 3 a.m.?
3 a.m.
It'll be 3 a.m., yeah.
It is indeed 3 a.m.
Tim, name a movie with a wrestler in it that isn't the wrestler.
God. Oh, fuck. What's that film with Kurt Angle, Kevin Nash, and that in it?
I'll look it up. Currently.
Is that Magic Mike?
No, hey, Magic Mike is a good film.
Kevin Nash is in that, right? I haven't seen it.
Yeah. It's a
Kevin Nash
Magic
was
Mike
also
music
Grandma's
film.
boy.
How old is this movie?
Oh, that movie Warrior?
Yeah.
He's in Warrior?
I knew Kurt was. I didn't know Kev was.
How about Trainwreck? Amy Schumer's film. John Cena's in it.
Bagging John Cena. John Cena's gay in that. I love it.
I still haven't seen that. I'm gonna watch that. Actually, maybe I'll
That's
watch
a really good. Yo, I watched that with Chris Frank. It was such a funny movie to watch with him.
Yeah, I bet that's.
Yo, have you seen the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie? Secret of the Ooze?
No.
Okay, that's an old school movie. You need to watch that. Kevin Nash plays Super Shredder.
Kevin Nash.
If you don't
I
know
can't
what
believe
I'm
Kevin
talking
Nash.
about,
I can't believe Kevin
insane.
Nash was in movies.
Kevin Nash has been in a lot of movies. I mean, and then you got the obvious Batista roles. Like, he was just in Spectre, which I still haven't seen yet.
Yeah, remember we were supposed to go see that?
Yeah, you remember that, Tim?
Oh,
See
Tim,
what?
Tim, you were supposed to go to that too?
Yeah.
Go see what?
Spectre.
At Goodbye, we were all supposed to go see Spectre after night 0.
What happened?
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
We're out of things to talk about, so next
Well,
week...
we're not out of things to talk about, but, let's be honest.
Yeah. Well, we're out of things that we can talk about while being on a podcast. So we will go, and next week, I know I promised it, but next week, maybe, hopefully, we get Vicious Van Valley on this pod. We're gonna ask him some.
Independent wrestler.
We're gonna ask him some questions. Hard hitting.
He's a wrestler.
Soft-spoken.
For those of you that don't know, he's a wrestler.
Hard hitting, soft spoken Bobby Lashley.
And all we can say from here is spay and neuter your pets and make sure the Kate Carly is your god.
As Indiana Jones said in the Temple of Doom, say hello to Kali in hell.
Yep.
Kane theme induced.
And
See you later, peace heads.